Hey guys, Neoma saying now for today's video. I know everybody's still high on excitement for against the Man City game where Arsenal won 2-0 clean sheet, but let's talk about Aston Villa. I'll be talking and giving you my match predictions for the game, and I'm predicting a 3-1 finish. I think Arsenal are just going to be too strong, and the way how we've been playing recently, I see nothing but a win in this game. So I'll be giving my thoughts and views on that, as well as who's going to be starting. But until then, do remember to continue to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It does help the channel out. And now, let's get started. So let's talk Arsenal, Aston Villa. We are coming up to the penultimate game of the season, towards our last game, but we got to deal with Aston Villa first. Now, I know I didn't do a video on the Arsenal Man City game, but and the Tottenham game, but we played well. We're now into the finals of the FA Cup, but before we talk about the FA Cup, let's end the season strong. Let's try to at least get into Europa League position, so then we don't have to focus on, oh, we need to win the FA Cup in order to get into the Europa League. Now, I know some of you might be thinking we shouldn't be getting into the Europa League, but I disagree. Lots of financial benefits, even though it isn't much. With everything that's going on right now, I do think that every little helps. So right now, I would say that we need to put a good team together, good solid performance, and I think that we can do it. I mean, that win against City, I know it was in the FA Cup rather than the league, was a brilliant result. And now with the way how we played, if we can execute that in this Aston Villa game, I am more than happy, more than comfortable to think that, you know what, we are going to end the season strong, and I'm going straight for a 3-1 victory in this game. And the reason why is because Arteta now just has the team ticking over. I think that he's found a way to get the best of the players that he has. Yes, it's probably not the type of play that he wants to play. He probably wants to play the four at the back. Probably wants to play with a lot of creativity in midfield, similar to how Man City play. But right now, we just don't have the players. So I'm going to go with a similar formation with 3 at the back. I'm going to go with David Luiz. I'm going to go with Rob Holding. And I'm going to go with Kolasinac. For the only reason for that is because I've recently heard that Mustafi has a hamstring injury, which potentially is preventing him from being in that game. So I'm going to leave him there as is right now. And then the attacking fullbacks, we're going to put Tierney on the left unless there's an injury. So Tierney's got to be there. In midfield, you got to go with Mr. Who's been Mr. Consistent so far, Granit Xhaka, and Ceballos, who's been very good. And I hope we can get him back on another loan for at least another year, maybe with an option to buy. And then on the right, I'm going to go with Cedric. For me, I think Cedric is a better player. I think he's much more all-rounded, solid defensively, but also decent going forward. Maybe not as quick as like Bellerin, but I think he's got moderate amount of speed, and the opposition that we're going up against, I definitely think that this is a prime opportunity for Cedric to showcase his talents. And then up front, we have to go with the 3. So I'm going to stick with the same 3 that performed well against Man City. I'm going to go with Pepe on the right, Laka up top, and Aubameyang on the left. As you can see, no Bukayo Saka in the game, even though I think Saka is a great player. Let's give Saka a rest. It gives us more options coming up off the bench. I believe this is a game that Eddie Nketiah is also back as well. So now we'll have Eddie to call on if need be. Let's see what all that he can do in the game. And obviously you got other players like Niles who've done very well. And it's just going to be a really good solid performance. We shouldn't have a problem against Aston Villa, not with everything that's been happening over the past several weeks. So I definitely think that this should be a nice continuation run until we get to our last game of the season, which I believe is Watford, who have just sacked their manager today, which it's a shame that's happened. Real disappointing. You don't want to hear about any manager ever getting fired, but it is what it is in that respect. So yeah, you know, it's a real shame. But nevertheless, we've got to go and do a job. But let's get by Aston Villa first. And then in goal, I know that Bernd Leno is starting back and he's running again. But but you got to stick with Emi Martinez at the very least until the end of the season, and then next season we can start talking about what the goalkeepers are going to look like. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I do think it'll be a 3-1 victory, and I'm going to go with Aubameyang, and I'll go with the front three: Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe to score in the goals. I think that trio is just going to be too much for that Aston Villa defence. And even though I think this will be a tough game for Arsenal, with the way how we've been playing lately, I see nothing but a W. W. That's a W? Yeah. W. Nothing but a win. Let's get the 3 points. Let's start to rise up the table. Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, we are 10th with 53 points, 13 wins, 14 draws, 9 losses, with a goal difference of 8. Right now, if we got a win, that would put us, depending on what type of who scores what and how many goals we score, we can jump up to potentially 7th, tied with Wolves, but it would come down to head-to-head since they have a slightly better goal difference than us, but Wolves would also have to lose a game, so we'll have to see what happens. And I think the next round of fixtures for everybody, that 37th game, we'll really start to see what top 4, top 5, top 6 and top 7 will look like for those Champions League spots and for those last kind of Europa League places. But guys, let me know your thoughts on the game against Aston Villa. What do you think? Do you think that my starting 11 is correct? Do you think it's something that's going to be different? Maybe your scoreline is going to be different as well. Nevertheless, leave your comments below. Please continue to comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.